Hello, my name is George, and today we're diving into Monday.com, a digital workspace designed to streamline your organization's workflow, boost team efficiency, and help your team achieve its goals. In this 30-minute beginner tutorial, we'll start with the essentials, a quick start guide to get you up and running before introducing some of the more advanced features that Monday.com has to offer. Timestamps can be found below, so you can easily skip to these sections that matter most to you. Now, before we jump in, just a quick heads up, if you find this video helpful, the best way to support my channel is to sign up through Monday.com using my link in the description. It's my affiliate link, which means I may earn a small commission if you join through it at no extra cost to you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and now let's get started. Introduction and onboarding. Monday.com is not just a project management tool. It is what's called a work operating system, or Work OS. Think of it as a Swiss Army knife that lets you manage every aspect of your business in one spot. Whether you're managing sales, running social media campaigns, ironing out some pesky bugs, planning an event, purchasing some new equipment, handling payroll, or setting up a meeting with a potential client, Monday.com is a one-stop shop for all your business management needs. Now, if you don't have a Monday.com account, no worries. Creating an account is easy and completely free. Simply click the link in the description and you'll be taken to this page where you'll be able to click Create an Account. After answering a few basic questions about your skill set and needs, all you need to do is provide an email address and create a password. Alternatively, you can sign in automatically using your Google account. Creating a new account will also let you try out their standard plan for free for 14 days. Don't worry, the 14-day free trial does not automatically renew, so you don't need to worry about canceling if Monday.com isn't right for you. To see their plans, check out the top left of the dashboard. Now, on with the video. First steps. Now that you've got your Monday.com account, you'll land on the home screen. The home screen provides an overview of your account, all the workspaces you are part of, and an update feed called the inbox. The update feed is an easy way to see where your team has made progress, or perhaps where they're getting stuck and need some help. Clicking on any update like this one will bring up your inbox, where you can view, sort, and manage all your notifications. You can even schedule updates you want to send to your team at a later date. Now, let's click out of that and return to the home screen. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see your workspaces. Think of workspaces as the place where a team or department collaborates and works together across projects. Currently, our workspace is called the main workspace. Let's rename it. Click on the three dots right here, navigate to Edit Workspace, and select Rename Workplace from the drop-down menu. We'll call it Practice Workspace. If we click on our new workspace, we'll be brought to this screen where we can also change the background color and icon of our Practice Workspace. If you want, you can also add a description for your workspace. Boards and groups. All right, now let's add a new board to this workspace. Think of a board as your central collaborative workspace where you organize and track everything from projects and tasks to sales pipelines and budgets. While every plan allows you to create an unlimited number of boards, as we will see, the boards themselves can be filled with tens of thousands of data points, meaning that you should only need to create new boards when something significant changes or your organization undergoes a significant expansion. Rather than creating a new board from scratch, we can start with a template by clicking here. On the left-hand side, you can see all the categories for which Monday.com has created templates. We'll click Start from Scratch and use this basic template for the rest of the video. And there we go. Let's change our workspace name to Pittsburgh Office and add a relevant board description. As you can see, the board is divided into several areas. We'll go through them one by one. The first of these is groups. Groups are the largest organizational unit in a board and are designed to help compartmentalize and categorize specific tasks. A group can be anything from a simple one-time project to a detailed accounting of your business's financial history. And don't worry about running out of groups. Across all of Mondays.com's plans, a single board can have up to 5,000 groups. Right now, we have two, so let's add a third group by clicking on the drop-down menu on New Item and clicking New Group of Items. And there we go, a third group. Before we continue, let's name our groups. Simply click where it says Group Title. We can call the first one Operations, the second one New Clients, and the third one Company Picnic. Now, let's hover over our operations group. See the three dots on the left-hand side? Click them, and you'll see another menu where you can do anything you want with this group. We'll change the color from blue to green since operations costs money. We'll also change the color of new clients to blue. You can also collapse groups. For example, let's say I don't have anything to do with operations today. Then I'll simply click the same upside down arrow next to operations right here. To open the group, simply click the right facing arrow. It is also worth noting that you can export any group to Microsoft Excel for more complex data analysis. All you've got to do is click the three dots to the left of the group you want to move to Excel and click Export to Excel. You can now choose exactly what you want to be copied to Excel. Since we're only going to be playing with the numbers, we will not click Include Updates. But emailing ourselves a copy might be helpful, so we'll click that box. And that's it. Hit the Export button and the download will start automatically. Items, sub-items, and columns. All right, now within each group are various items. An item is any task, client, deal, or specific piece of information that you and your team need to track and manage. So for operations, let's add some common expenses. After clicking on item 1, we'll rename it to rent and utilities. While we have the menu up, let's add an update to remind our accountant that our rent is due on October 1st. But let us presume that October 1st is next Wednesday. As a friendly reminder to our accountants, let's schedule our message to be sent next Monday at 9 a.m. And there we go. As you can see, we can also add or review various types of files attached to the item, including those created in Google Docs or the Microsoft 365 suite, such as PowerPoint, Word, and Excel. We can also view an activity log to see when our team members interacted with the task and what they changed. Additionally, there's an activity log for the board as a whole. To see that, let's click on the three dots on the right-hand side of the screen, right here below your Accounts menu. From there, you can easily access the activity log and view all the information related to the Pittsburgh office. Unfortunately, Monday.com's biggest weakness is the lack of a built-in chat feature at the group, item, and sub-item levels. While there is a board-level discussion room that can be found where we access the board activity log, and it is possible and relatively straightforward to integrate Zoom, Slack, WhatsApp, Microsoft Teams, Outlook, and many other platforms, the lack of a dedicated discussion or common board at all levels is frankly inexcusable in 2025. Returning to our board, let's add two more expenses to our operations group. Item 2 will be payroll, and item 3 can be office supplies. For more complex tasks, you can even add sub-items to break them down. Let's say for our rent and utilities task, I want to add separate sub-items for rent and utilities. All I've got to do is right-click on our item and click Add Sub-Item twice. There we go. Both of our sub-items have been created. To get rid of this expanded view, simply click the upside-down arrow next to rent and utilities, located right here. And like with groups, don't worry about running out of items or sub-items. Depending on your plan, each board can have anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 items, and each item can have up to 100 sub-items. The next column is straightforward, people. Let's say we have the same person handling all of our operational expenses. Then, all we have to do is left-click the icon and manually add them to the workspace. If you're just starting out, you'll need to send them an invitation. That's easy enough. Simply click on Invite a new member by email, enter their work email address, and then click Send. It's worth noting that once your workspace is up and running, you can add people to a board or group based on their permissions, assigned roles, names, or email addresses. With our accountant added, we can view the statuses of his tasks. These statuses are easy to change. Simply click the task's current state. So I'll click on the third status here. You'll see how it's grayed out. That means there has been no status update given for this task. Let's change that to stuck. At a glance, it's easy to see where your team is, how they're doing, and what they might need your help with. At the very bottom, there's also an aggregate score that provides a breakdown of your task status. We're going to add another column here so we can tell our accountant what tasks to prioritize. To do that, we'll click this plus right here. We will add this numbers column here right now. We will use it later. Let's add another column and click more columns to find what we're looking for. Although we can see a priority column right here that we can add to our board, let's say that you don't see what you're looking for. Instead of searching all the templates for each of these categories, navigate to the top here and search for prioritize. There we go. Let's add this column to our board. Now we have a new priority column, but it is at the very end of the group. To move a column, simply hover your cursor over the left side of the box labeled priority. Click and drag it to its new location. I'm going to place it right here next to the status column so that our accountant can easily see what he should work on first. With our priorities set, our team now knows which tasks need to be done as soon as possible and which can be put on hold. There are columns for basically any situation. For example, let's complete our operations group. A date column can be used to tell your team when a task needs to be completed. If you prefer, there is also a timeline column that enables you to establish a detailed workflow, allowing your team to know when they need to complete specific tasks by. There's also the numbers column. Let us rename that budget. There we go. If you notice, the name change occurred in all of our groups. That is by design. While it is possible to use different columns for different groups, setting that up can be fairly tricky, and we may address this in a future video. But right now, we've got our budget to tackle. Let's add the amount of money allocated for each item. There we go. On the bottom, the numbers column is set to automatically calculate the total amount we'll be spending on operations for the month. If we click on the tab, we can see that we can adjust the unit being displayed, as well as change or disable the calculation feature. For now, we'll leave it. Views. Now let's say I want to show the operations group to another manager, but I want to break it down in a way that allows them to quickly and easily see how our team is performing. I will go to the top of the document and click on Add View. I'll go ahead and use the Kanban view. As you can see, our Kanban is sorted by priority rather than status. To change this, click the cog wheel on the top right to open Widget Settings. Here, I can have the Kanban display status instead. There we go. Click on the cog wheel again to close that menu. Now our items are sorted by status. And since I've just learned that we've managed to order the office supplies, I can easily drag and drop the office supplies item into the Done column. Switching back to our main table on the top right, we can see that the status changed from stuck to done. There are tons of other useful columns, including files, checkboxes, voting, and many, many more, which allows for incredible flexibility as your team transitions from project to project. Automation. Before we move on, there is one last thing we want to discuss, the automation feature. Rather than hoping your coworkers send you an update when they need help, you can set it up so that Monday.com will automatically notify you. Here's how. Let's click the Automate tab in the upper right. While there are many templates, all boil down to a simple if X, then Y function. For example, at the top, we have when status changes to something, notify someone. Let's use that template. Here, we can set up a function to notify me when the status of any project changes to stuck. And there we go. Let's take a closer look at some of the automation features. Doing so will also allow us to discuss third-party integrations, which I mentioned in the items, sub-items, and columns chapter of this video. Okay, in the automation window, let's scroll down to the productivity section. Not only are there helpful templates ready to use, but they're also designed to work with outside apps like Gmail, Outlook, and LinkedIn. Let's click on the Gmail icon right here. There. Now we see all the automations that are compatible with this one outside app. Let's click on the very last item here. When date arrives and status is something, send an email to someone. Now we have to connect our Gmail account to Monday.com. Let's click Connect. Okay, for this app, we are prompted to sign into our Google account. Let's do that. To make the most of the automation features, we will select all. Though you can certainly limit Monday.com's access to view only if you're concerned about a potential security breach. While the integration process was a step or two shorter since I was already signed into my Google account, integrating any other third party should follow the same basic steps. So with just a few clicks, our Gmail is connected to the workspace. Let's write our script. I believe that our rent and utilities payments still haven't been completed and are due on October 1st. So I'm going to click on When and set a time to be notified. Let's send the message at 9 a.m. so I see it the first thing in the morning. If I want to stay ahead of the game, I can click the button below, which enables me to set the email to send the day before the task is due, giving me time to coordinate with our accountant and get it handled. I'll set the time for this reminder to 9 a.m. as well. There we go. For the date prompt, simply select dates. Let's set the status to status rather than priority, because we don't care about the priority of a task. We just care about getting it done before it is due. The next prompt is can work either way. To make things straightforward, however, we will set it to is not. Since we choose is not, we need to select done here. Next, it wants us to create an email to send out when the priority conditions are met. I'll call it task needs attention. I'll also add 2 automated prompts to help me figure out exactly where this task is as quickly as possible. Putting my cursor at the beginning of the subject line, I'll click on board name and then group name among the fields down below. Now, the subject line will read Pittsburgh office operation task needs attention. Since that tells me everything I need to know, the body of the email will be something like review this as soon as possible, as the field cannot be blank. And there we go. You have an automatic reminder set to notify you 24 hours before a task is due if it is incomplete. Now, even though we've barely scratched the surface of what automation can do for you and your team, hopefully we've highlighted just how much of a lifesaver having the proper automation set up can be. Don't overdo it though. On the standard plan, your team is limited to 250 automated actions per month. Keeping that in mind, we recommend using automation as a failsafe, a way to ensure that something important doesn't slip through the cracks, rather than as an end-all, be-all to every situation. The dashboard and final thoughts. Before we go, there is one last great feature we want to highlight, the dashboard. For this, we'll have to fill out our remaining groups. With this board complete, let us duplicate it since we are opening another office in Vancouver. To do that, simply click on the 3 dots next to the Pittsburgh office board. Let's change the name to Vancouver office. And let's copy the board structure only, since the items and projects at the Pittsburgh office will not be done in Vancouver. And there we go, a new board for our new office. As your team grows, more groups are created and there's more to do. You can quickly get overwhelmed. To easily identify the most important tasks that require your immediate attention, let's make a dashboard. Click on the large blue plus sign next to our workspace and select Dashboard from the list. Rather than letting everyone see this, we will ensure that the new dashboard is set to private, limiting access to just me and the people I want to add. We'll name it Overview. Now, the number of dashboards you can create depends on your plan. The standard plan allows you to have 5 boards per dashboard, whereas the enterprise plan lets you link up to 50 boards per dashboard. All right, now that our new dashboard has been created, let's connect our Pittsburgh and Vancouver offices to it. At the top left, click Connect Boards and select the 2 boards you want to add. Click Done, and there you go. However, our dashboard is blank. It doesn't provide us with any information. For that, let's add a widget to our dashboard. Think of widgets as integration that allows you to compile, view, and dissect information across your boards. On the top left-hand side, just beneath Overview, let's click the blue Add Widget button. Let's keep it simple for now and add a chart. This chart currently displays the priority level assigned to tasks, which isn't the most helpful information. Let's change it to display the status of tasks. To do that, we'll need to open the individual settings of this widget. Let's click on the 3 dots in the upper right of our bar graph. Let's go down to Settings. Okay, let's switch the data displayed. For our purposes, let's click on X-axis. Click on Columns and select Status. And there we go. Our bar graph now breaks down tasks by status, allowing you to seamlessly visualize where your team is at. Let's name our chart Status of Items at Pittsburgh and Vancouver offices. Though we won't go much further in this tutorial, look over to the right side of this widget menu. From top to bottom, we can modify the type of chart we have displaying our data, including the X and Y axes, as well as adjust the boards and groups we want to show in our chart. With only 2 boards, it doesn't make sense to tweak that setting now. Let's exit this menu and return to our dashboard. Now, like the columns, there are many different widgets, including a file gallery, a calendar, and even integrations to manage your business's social media platforms, enabling a comprehensive, fully customizable experience. Let's experiment with that a little bit and see what we can do. Let's add 2 more widgets. We'll keep it simple. For this illustration to work, however, we need to add some numbers to our Vancouver office board. Let's do that quickly. If you're following along, then feel free to pause the tutorial and add the data we have for the Vancouver office right here. Let's return to our dashboard. We will see how the bar graph here has updated, letting us know the status of tasks across the 2 different locations. Let's add another widget. Let's scroll down to Motivation and add in the Countdown widget. Like before, let's click on the 3 dots next to it and open Settings. Since the Vancouver office is opening on September 1st, 2025, we will set the date accordingly. Let's also turn on all units. And there we go. Let's also name this countdown Time to Vancouver Launch. Let's add one more widget, the Bookmarks widget. Let's say it's essential for our company to follow the stock market. We can simply go to our browser search bar, type in NASDAQ, and press enter. Let's right-click on the top result and select Copy Link Address. Back on our dashboard, we'll click on Create a New Bookmark field, press Ctrl-V, and then hit Enter. And there you go. So while that's all we're going to cover today, Monday.com's Help Center has in-depth articles and more video tutorials. And if you encounter any issues, even the basic plan comes with round-the-clock technical support. There's also a forum where other Monday.com users can lend support. And that's it for this video. If you haven't signed up yet, then make sure to use the link in the description to get started with Monday.com. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.